Welcome back. You're still with us on Thailand Today, and we are with the CEO of Mega Life Sciences, Khun Vivek. Now, tell us a bit about the other markets that you're focusing on, particularly in Cambodia and Vietnam. How big are these markets for Mega Life Science?
Indochina was and is our key business strategy. We started in Thailand. Our home is here. Our headquarters is here. Our beginnings are here. So this remains our biggest market. Our manufacturing base and our branded center still has 30%, 35% over of our brand businesses in Thailand. We employ nearly 1,400 people in Thailand as well. We went out to Vietnam and Myanmar about the same time, and Vietnam opened in 94, 95. I also went to Vietnam in 93, and in about 95 we placed somebody there, and that gentleman single-handedly went there, and then we built a business in Vietnam, and that's where Mega started. So for Mega, Vietnam is a very important market, as Thailand, as Myanmar. We have over 600 people working in Vietnam. We have warehouses in Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh, and Da Nang. We cover 5,000 over pharmacies directly in Vietnam. We have huge brands in Vietnam, from eNat to Livolin, Giloba, which are our own brands, so it's a large part of our business. We just bought, as one of our ongoing Indochina strategy, our growth plans in Indochina, we acquired a brand in Indochina, and the brand name is called Eugica. It's a herbal cough remedy, contains eucalyptin oil and some other things like ginger extracts, etc., registered as a medicine. We bought that brand in Vietnam for $6 million, and we are now building on that in Vietnam and plan to take it out from Vietnam to other countries. Other than that, we also do distribution in Vietnam. We represent other companies in Vietnam. We still do, and we provide services to many, many different companies and cover the whole market. So for us, Vietnam is also a very important part of our growth plans.
And then you have Cambodia.
Yes, yes. Cambodia came a year later after Vietnam. When we were in Vietnam, we started visiting Cambodia, and then we opened Cambodia. Cambodia is only about $190 million pharma market, and Mega is about 5-7% of the market, somewhere in that range. So we have been there. We have a strong presence. We employ about 140 people in the country. We have warehouse. We distribute product for other companies in Cambodia, as well as we market our own brands. So if you look at Mega, we have got, we do three things. We market our own brands. That's a branded strategy. So growing our existing brands or launching new brands is one of our growth strategies. Two, we represent companies for whom we provide services, import, stock, deliver to the pharmacies, to the hospital, to the outlets, collect money, send money back to them, and provide them other services, including sales services, marketing services, for which we get a fee. And that's our distribution business under MaxCare. And there is potential for that business to grow itself. So that's another growth strategy. The third area is there are inorganic opportunities. So far, Mega has done everything on its own for 26 years, with our own hard work, working every day. But I think now we have the possibility to join up with other people, to acquire some brands in partnership in a positive manner where both companies can work together, both benefit in this venture, selecting the right product that fits into our strategies. And the first one was Eugica, and maybe we have more opportunities. So looking at all these three things, we see Indochina, including Thailand, as a potential future opportunity for Mega's growth engine to continue. It's not the end. There's a lot more that we can still do here, because all these markets are young. There's a population, there is growth potential. So I think going forward, we still have a lot to do in these four markets.
I see. Now, Eugica that you recently bought from Vietnam, will these products be sold in Thailand as well?
We have to register them. We are in the process of getting registrations done in other markets. We believe the herbal cough remedy market, there are synthetic alternatives, there are drugs that you take, and so do people are interested in looking at less aggressive herbal remedies for mild, moderate and other symptoms, and I think this has its own opportunity, and we will be registering these products in other markets. We are in 29 markets and we'll take them to products to these markets as well.
Your business is continuing to grow. Let's talk about a bit about your production capacity. I mean, currently you have a few factories here in Thailand, I believe. What's your production capacity?
We have 3 sites. Our first site, that's where we started. My life started in the plant. And we have a soft gelatin facility. It was called originally Medicap, and now we have 10 machines. We are expanding that to make it 18. From a 2 billion approximate capacity that we have at the moment, about 1.9, we should be going up to 3.8 billion by the beginning of 2014. Work is in progress. It's ongoing now. That's one of the investments we have made now. We have a second facility here. We have 2 sites. We also make tablets, hard gels, powders, and do a lot of packaging, blister, bottles in that facility. We have a large product development facility here. Our scientists and people work here to develop new products. At any given time in this year, we are looking at 59 new products are under development. So that's also a part of our growing strategy. We have a third facility in Australia, in Melbourne. We just also have built a new plant there, invested money in building a brand new facility to manufacture tablets, hard gels and powders, protein powders and other things. And we produce products for Mega We Care brand and export out of Australia to our markets, and also supply to some of our OEM clients in Australia. So there is still a part of our business, about 8% of our business, which is OEM. OEM meaning we do supplies to other partners. Because that was our original business. We still continue to work with a number of partners who we have relationships with.
So products coming out from the plant in Australia are marketed to in Australia and to the European
In
countries?
Australia, they are sold in Australia to key partners who market them under their brand. That's the OEM business. There are brands that we make, like NatC was made in Australia. It is to come from Australia. We have Ultra Pro, protein powders. We have many products made in Australia which Mega We Care's offices in 29 countries market, and they are made in Australia.
Are there plans to open up new plants, especially in countries in Indochina, especially Cambodia? I hear that the wages are kind of low. Is that
We don't run after low wages, and we don't run after only incentives to open new plants. I think this is a very know-how based business. Pharmaceuticals requires discipline, culture, requires quality standard, GMP. And in order to maintain and assure quality every day when you get a product on your plate, I mean, vitamins are not just foods. Mega makes these vitamins like medicines. Our plants are all pharmaceutical approved. So you have to have a very good quality standard and be able to maintain them day in and out. So creating multiple facilities in every country is probably not the right answer. And secondly, if you have multiple facilities, your cost is not lower. If you produce a lot more in one location, you become more efficient. And ultimately, every government, every country wants to have lower priced medicines. And that can happen by concentration and focus. So building multiple plants is probably not the answer, and I don't think that is part of our strategy. We are building on Thailand a strength here. We have in Australia a strength because they have very good regulatory bodies there. They control supplements like medicines, and it gives us the quality mark and the standard to make good products. That's why we believe we have sufficient capacity for the next couple of years at the moment.
All right. Let's take a look at your plans, your intentions to get the company listed in the Thai stock market. Tell us a bit about this.
Very interesting. Yes, this is after 26 years. I mean, we've been independent, privately held, but we have always functioned as a public company. Me, as the CEO now and as the management head, hold shares in the company. We hold 27.5% shares in the company. The other 72.5% shares are held by the Shah family and their investment arms. And it's always been like that. So we have always run the company like a public company, run it honestly, truly, well audited, well managed, professionally. But for all these years we were growing and we were doing it on our own. And then came a time today, I think that we believe we are sitting in 29 countries, we have built a business. It's time to bring in new investors to join in with us, to create the opportunity to access capital markets. There may be many new opportunities that will come our way now with ASEAN growing, Burma happening, that we will have chances and opportunities to grow our business. So getting ready, being in the market provides us that opportunity.
So when do you expect this to happen?
We are in progress. We filed for listing to the SEC on the 18th of July. Our documents are being reviewed, and I believe this is the time. It takes time. I don't know exactly when they'll be done, but hopefully before the end of this year, if things go well, we should be in the market.
Now, if one would ask, do you think this is the right time, considering the economic climate?
If you ask me, I would say any time is the right time, because we didn't do it for 26 years. For us, this is the right time.
Okay.
A good company should be valued for what they do right. We are creating value and we have a growth potential, opportunity. And if people understand the business we are in, I believe they should reward us for what we do well, if we create value. The markets today are not good. They may get better next year or they may not. But if we keep waiting for that right peak and then get in the market, I don't know when that'll happen. And that's probably very difficult. I'm not a fortune teller, but I believe that what we are doing is good, and if it's right, we are a good company, people understand what we are doing, we should be in the market at the right time.
Tell us a bit about your sales revenue, the expected growth for the year.
We have, in 2012, we clocked $195 million, 194 point something, some exact numbers. We had a profit before tax of $22.5 million in 2012. Over the last period, 10, 11, 12, we've been growing double digits, around the 20% mark, both in revenue and sales. We believe our first half results are also in line, and we are still growing at 20% and plus. We are confident that there is a lot of upside. We have a lot of opportunity in the markets where we are. At the same time, we are building new countries. We are in Africa. We've been there for 5, 7, 8 years in Nigeria, Ghana, Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, and we're growing and opening there. We're in as far as Peru and Latin America. We are in CIS countries like Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and Ukraine and Russia. So going forward, we will have more areas to bring growth in from our branded business, while our distribution business also grows. So all I can say is that there is a phenomenal opportunity and potential to grow. But other than that, I don't know exactly how much that will be, but we have opportunities, and I'm sure Mega will continue to grow.
All right. Well, Khun Vivek, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for sharing the business directions and also the successful journey of Mega Life Sciences.
Have a
good day.
Thank you.
And also thanks to our viewers. Stay tuned for Thailand Today. We'll be back tomorrow with more interesting topics. As for now, สวัสดีค่ะ
Swadee Khap.